This man never expected that his proud teleportation ability would look, in Jack's eyes, like the slow crawl of a toddler turtle. No matter where he teleported, Jack could predict his position in advance, not even giving him a second to breathe. The moment he landed, he was instantly hit with a barrage of high-tier magic. Not long before this, Jack had already discovered a flaw in teleportation. Without a clear line of sight, it couldn't lock onto a target. While Anna was busy one-shotting George, Jack focused on analyzing how to deal with John. First, there was John's magic sphere. It could freely change shape and even pierce through multiple layers of barriers. With its insane speed, getting hit meant instant death. Luckily, the counter was simple: keep generating strong barriers to block it. But then came the real problem: his second ability, a death curse. Since it wasn't a physical attack, it could pass straight through barriers. On its own, the curse wasn't very fast, but John attached it to his high-speed sphere, making it extremely difficult even for Jack to handle. He had to maintain barriers while constantly dodging. On top of that, there were John's teleport-based tactics, forcing Jack to keep moving at all times. If he stopped for even 2 seconds, John would lock onto him and teleport in for an attack. As for strategy, John played it safe, keeping his distance and trying to wear Jack down. Not wanting to be controlled, Jack switched to offense, using a speed technique even faster than Shadow Wolf, but landing a hit on someone who can teleport was easier said than done. Then, unexpectedly, when Jack's flaming punch struck the water, it created a massive cloud of steam. That's when he noticed something crucial. Normally, after teleporting, John could be tracked through his presence, but this time, because of the fog, Jack stood still for more than 2 seconds, and strangely, John didn't attack. That's when Jack realized the truth. John could only lock onto targets through vision. Even after figuring it out, closing the distance with a magic blade would still expose him. So after a brief moment of thought, he changed tactics. John sneered, thinking Jack was being naive, assuming magic wouldn't work and switching to close combat. But physical attacks were useless too. Even if his heart was destroyed, he could regenerate. In fact, he had taken a hit on purpose just to locate Jack's real body. As John confidently declared victory, the body he identified suddenly crumbled into stone. He didn't expect that Jack had given the real weapon to a clone. After a brief moment of shock, John quickly calmed down and began analyzing the situation from Jack's perspective. To stay safe, Jack would likely attack from above, but to his surprise, Jack charged straight at him. Magic damage barely affected John at all. In an instant, he healed his wounds. With a snap of his fingers, a brand new outfit appeared on him. As long as he knew an object's location, he could teleport it even without seeing it. However, he couldn't teleport to completely unknown places, which meant he still couldn't directly lock onto Jack. So John unleashed a new technique. But after a series of exchanges, Jack completely threw him off. Frustrated, John began attacking all the clones indiscriminately. What he didn't expect was that Jack had abandoned his barrier and used concealment to slip right beside him. The reason Jack risked getting hit just to get close was because of the weapon. In his hand, a magic draining sword. As its name suggests, it absorbs the opponent's mana and turns it into his own, while also analyzing its nature. In other words, Jack intended to decipher the teleportation technique that even William couldn't fully understand. After striking the trace left behind by the teleportation, Jack entered a mysterious space. He tried to awaken William's consciousness, but got no response. Instead, he discovered a final safeguard left behind before William's soul faded. After fully understanding the technique, Jack canceled all his magic. John, however, still hadn't realized the danger. Seeing the injuries on Jack's face, he thought victory was certain, but the moment he tried to teleport again, Jack had already predicted his landing point. One punch, and John was left questioning everything. That punch wasn't magic. It was pure force driven by the energy Jack generated through his lungs. While John stood there in shock, Jack calmly sat down, as if the fight had already been decided. He wanted to see what other tricks this so-called calamity of the demon realm still had. Hearing this, John instantly grew furious. He mocked Jack, saying he just got lucky once and was already acting arrogant. Seeing him still talking tough, Jack decided to make things clear. He reminded him, "Didn't William say something to you at the very end?" Now it was Jack's turn to mock him. "You said you'd make this fight interesting. Don't tell me you've already run out of tricks." This man simply slipped his hands into his pockets and took a graceful step back, effortlessly dodging all the monster's attacks. Seeing this, the monster grew furious and began chasing Jack relentlessly with its serpent. But this time, Jack didn't hold back. He immediately retaliated with a powerful lightning spell. What would take an A-rank adventurer an entire week to complete, Jack finished flawlessly in just a few rounds. Just as he began to feel proud of himself, he was suddenly ambushed by a demon squad. Fortunately, Jack reacted quickly and revealed his identity, making everyone realize he was their long-lost leader. Since he had removed his legs and wings, his subordinates failed to recognize him at first and assumed he was just another monster-hunting adventurer. After the Demon King's defeat, their leader had vanished, and they believed he had met a tragic end. After catching up, they learned that Jack had chosen to live as a human to pursue the one he loved. He told the three to go live their own lives, but they refused without hesitation, declaring they would follow him to the end and also meet his beloved. To help them blend in, Jack quickly came up with a plan. He plucked all the feathers from Birdwoman Anna, stitched the head of Headless Knight Adam back into his armor, and only removed Fairy John's wings. Jack didn't hide anything from Jenny and introduced her to his former subordinates. At that moment, Adam began recalling Jack's past. Jack had been infamous for staying at home all the time. Whenever his superiors ordered him to attack humans, he would come up with all sorts of strange excuses to avoid it. Eventually, they grew tired of it and let him do as he pleased. Adam once tried to punish Jack for this behavior, but instead, Jack ended up teaching him a lesson, filling his mind with unusual ideas. From that moment on, Adam became completely loyal to him. Just then, they noticed that John and Anna had disappeared. Following the garden path, they found John sleeping peacefully in Jenny's mother's lap. Luckily, she loved children and didn't mind at all. As for Anna, she had been taken away by a maid for training. It turned out the head maid had mistaken Anna for a new recruit. Even after learning the truth, Anna refused to take off the maid outfit and insisted on staying, successfully becoming part of the household. Before leaving, Jenny's mother told Jack that Jenny had been busy with social events and hadn't been getting enough rest. She asked him to take her out the next day. The following day, Jenny carefully dressed up and, to avoid attention, wore disguised glasses. The two went on their first date. Even the most beautiful flowers along the roadside couldn't compare to her presence, and even the cutest cats couldn't rival her charm. Her red dress made Jack's heart race. As they passed by a jewelry store, they unexpectedly ran into George the hero and Luna the mage, who were also out shopping. George almost called out Jenny's name, but Luna quickly covered his mouth, preventing their identities from being exposed. Ignoring Jack completely, George walked straight into the jewelry store and invited Jenny along. Luna, clearly frustrated, had wanted a peaceful outing but now found herself reluctantly encouraging Jack. This made Jack visibly annoyed, and once inside, a silent competition began. When Jack tried to buy jewelry for Jenny, George immediately stepped in, insisting he would buy something too. Jack chose a blue crystal necklace that Jenny loved, while George picked the most expensive hairpin in the store and tried to place it on her himself. However, in his haste, he accidentally knocked off her disguised glasses. Instantly, everyone recognized Jenny and George, and a crowd quickly gathered around them. With no other option, they were forced to retreat. Amid the chaos, Jack was pushed aside by the crowd. When he got back up, the others were nowhere to be seen. As he searched around, he noticed Ethan the swordsman from the hero squad, surrounded by a group of girls and unable to move. Seeing his situation, Jack quickly shouted, "George is over there." Immediately, the crowd of girls rushed away. After helping Ethan out, Jack was about to leave and continue searching for Jenny when Ethan suddenly called out to him. That's when Jack realized Ethan's voice sounded quite feminine. It explained why he had always been so quiet. Ethan expected to be mocked, but Jack simply said it didn't matter. Everyone had their own struggles. He even casually revealed that he himself was a demon. Hearing this, Ethan felt a sense of relief. Apart from his family, Jack was the first person who didn't make fun of him. At that moment, he decided he wanted to be friends with Jack. Just then, Jack remembered he was supposed to be looking for Jenny and hurried off. Meanwhile, Jenny, after escaping the crowd, was also searching for him. On the way, she saw a child crouched on the ground, crying out for their mother. She used a small spell to heal the child's injuries, but the child continued to cry. Just as Jenny didn't know what to do, Jack finally appeared.